I wish I still had DoorDash. I'd be DoorDashing me some chili right now. Yeah, son. 2 large chili. And a sweet tea. See, where's the feline at? I could use some Taco Bell tonight. Shit. To locate a bomb. Would I box Mitch McConnell? 100% I would box him. I'd give all the money to charity, too.
I know. I think they're finding us. Always up there. Wendy could be
Oh, fuck. Upstairs is not a call-out. He's in penthouse. Yeah, I told my wife when I got home I was going to go straight to sleep because I only slept like 3.5 hours today. And now here I'm 4 hours deep into a stream.
10 seconds to go. Dragon. Located a bomb. Dragon.
Come on. Why did everybody just run to beat the door? I had it. 3 people walk and die in front of me.
Since she got promoted, I mean. They say it went down before the cracking happened. Imagine that.
Alright, where you guys want to go?
Oh, would have been something to see.
Let's not go. I don't want to do. I don't like the band. Let's go bump daycare.
I want an update on the Helios situation.
We're gonna lose armory through.
Best people working on a way to retake the station.
Yep, this is a lot of stress on me, though.
That's the Hyperion CEO. Is he as much of a bottle of glass?
I'm saying this is hard as fuck to fucking bandit trick with by myself. You never bandit trick. You have less chance than I do. Alright. Alright, guys. Looks like this stream is getting deleted.
Morningstar Farms veggie sausage breakfast sandwiches. It's the protein we need after a long night out. Best decision tonight. Totally.
Dude, I'm not tearing it up. I got people cheating. Like, I wish Sledgehammer would help me out here. Like, there's a guy on your team cheating. That's why we're all running riot shields, because he's aimbotting. No. Epic Yarring is cheating. He is aimbotting. Yeah. The worst thing about the nuclear man is I actually helped him out because, like, he had to borrow his brother's car, which he wrecked, and he was telling people about it on the phone. Oh, hey, man, use your mic.
Yeah, Wiggs is a sex offender, yeah, go get that BBC, yeah.
They're literally trying to pay one of my ex-girlfriends right now for information about me. I'm not saying her name, but like, yeah.
Oh, but who I think it is, I'm sweating some because, you know.
It isn't the two they know about. It's one of the other ones.
Oh, okay. I don't know. They'd have to put up some real cash.
And she messaged me about it. I'm like, y'all, just make them do it. Make sure they do Cash App. Make sure they can't charge their shit back because that's what they want to do. I ain't got nothing to hide. But they don't get their feelings hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that.
again, they had to like go through a girl's phone. Like, just imagine going through your sister's phone looking for dick pics. I was thinking about leaking another one because that picture's so bad. Already killed him on the truck. Come on, dude. Oh my lord, dude. And we've lost because the last two dudes are riot shields. I wonder if they think they're doing something, like, honestly. Look, like, I'm not even getting mad about it. Like, I got more mad last stream about losing to snipers 3 times in a row than I ever get mad about these stupid shields. I can't do anything shooting-wise because I got 2 shields on me.
Alright, you want your bodies? Alright.
Come on!
Fucking God, are you kidding me, dude? Another annoying part.
It's so frustrating. I don't know if you know how frustrating it is to get followed around for like literally days at a time with 2 riot shields. Every shot you take is blocked. It's so annoying. Like, I just want to play the game like everybody else, and like nobody lets me do this. Why? Because I said some shit on PK 10 years ago. Get a fucking life, guys. Like, seriously, get a life. Like, everybody that makes like content about me to cyberbully me is a fucking terrible person. Period. Lummox, all of them. Like, all you're doing is like this, like slowly degrading my mental health for
I don't
no
even know
reason.
what I stepped into.
Lummox does it strictly for money.
I didn't step
like,
into
You're literally
anything.
making money off of somebody else's mental health. Oh, Wings 007 most likely is going to jail. I'm not worried about him. Hopefully he can make his mixtapes in the fucking federal penitentiary. Elaborate? Shoot, I got you. Here.
Need air.
Click that link and listen to it. It's a YouTube link. There's nothing dangerous about it. It's a link of a couple of the troll channels conspiring to swap people. You can't post links in Twitch streams. Ban all the people talking about a link being racist. The links letters are randomly generated. Well, I got all kinds of shit like that. That video is just the tip of the iceberg. I got all kinds of incriminating shit.
Glad I got rid of that guy and whatever weapon he had.
I got screenshots going 3 or 4 years back. Doesn't matter if you're talking about me. That's just part of the evidence I have on them. Because I've been saving this shit for a long, long time. How'd he get through already?
Jordy, I don't understand how like you continuously keep having your discords and stuff taken down, and they just create another one and get it packed out again. Like, how do they all figure out where to congregate at?
The troll channels.
8 seconds.
Compared to something like Wings and Dollar 7.
Lummox, who will catch the trolls and take it too far. Also, please unhide me from the stream. I can't unhide you while I'm streaming, man. You have to catch it when I'm on the bans. But thank you for the $50 for the 60 at this point.
I'm surprised that
I have nothing to do with Super Chat. Super Chats goes straight to Google, and Google pays me through AdSense. Google takes their cut and everything else. Monster on the sticks, but like just playing smart and using the map to my advantage, like I can buy myself those milliseconds by positioning.
Welcome to Champion Hill, friends. Your team has a whole bunch of lives. Lose all your lives and you're eliminated. Welcome to Champion Hill, friends.
Thanks for being my last one for the night, boys. Oh, come on, this dude is straight chasing. How the fuck are you there? Like you literally spawned in front of me. Alright, boys. Thank you, Lumley, for the $60. Looks like good stream. You didn't believe it.
Instead, my girlfriend and I will enjoy watching you from the safety of the captain's chamber. Won't we, my luscious snuggle bunny? Yep. We've talked about this, my love. You're to address me as baby or my dear, especially in front of the others. Of course, my dear Bosie. Mateys, attack!
I took a really cute photo and I got like a kitchen counter fumbled, but with the magic eraser, make a little circle and it'll erase. My name is Sheena and I have a Google Pixel. Get up to $750 off any Cool Pixel 7 phone with eligible trade-in.
Hello, I'm Franklin Graham. It's hurricane season. We've already seen some incredible devastation. Many people find themselves in different kinds.
A cruise is a colossal waste of money. Yeah, people act like groceries are free. They're not.
Sorry about all.
That was the whole like thing. Like a lasagna costs like $40. And like I went and bought all the ingredients for a lasagna to show that it costs like $40.
Alright, lady.
No, the only time buying groceries is cheaper is if you eat dirt cheap. Like you get knockoff noodles and you try to buy, things that are just about to go out of date, things of that nature. Or you make large portions of it.
Sorry. My mission is to retrieve a military AI.
And you factor in like
I know exactly where you
things
can get
of
an excellent military AI.
like here's the thing, right? Say I cooked one of these $40 lasagnas. The way that lasagna gets cheap is if I use it to eat like 4 days out of the week out of that serving of lasagna. Right? But realistically, I would just eat on that lasagna and it'd be done in a day. So to me, that's a $40 for 1 day's worth of food. Right, but that's what I would do. I know what I would do. It's like this reason I don't buy like family bags of chips. And you always see me with a small bag of chips. Because if I got a family-sized bag of chips, it would sit here on the desk and I would eat on it throughout the entire day. So I'd have more calories that way than if I was limited my serving by getting a smaller bag of chips. Dude, I have zero self-control. Look, man, look at the Michelin Man. You think I got self-control? Yeah, basically, me and my wife, I wanted vegetable soup the other day, and me and my wife went and got, a couple cans of Dinty Moore, some mixed vegetables, fine variety, a couple cans of Campbell's tomato soup, and, just a bunch of vegetables to put in a crock pot to make a mixed vegetable, like it's called vegetable beef stew. And all that and a loaf of bread cost $40. And, we got literally, 1 bag worth of stuff. Just don't eat easy. I'll tell you about eating right now. What are you talking about? No, we don't go sit down at restaurants. Like me and Kelly, usually it runs about $25. Me and Kelly both go eat. They're trying to say we spend $40 to go eat. Because I was telling them about, vegetables that we made, and they don't believe it costs $40. We left, 1 bag.
Start saving receipts for them.
Yeah, because, food's gone up a lot.
Generic ketchup.
The problem with the generic ketchup is after it's cold, it doesn't taste right. It has a bitterness to it. I can't help I'm a Heinz man. I did grow up poor.
But once you got older and tasted the finer things in life,
You can get Heinz ketchup. What you do is you get a bottle of Heinz ketchup, and every time you go to McDonald's, you grab a bunch of McDonald's packets, and you refill the bottle.
no, that's not something.
Come on, man. My ex-friends might get later.
Sorry about this, but I'm going to have to defend the engine room for the bosun, and these old dial sounds are tough.
And my Like, the only problem with like hot and ready pizzas is they hot and ready suck ass. Like, unless you eat Little Caesars as hot as you can possibly get it, like open the box, start eating it right then and there, it starts to taste like cardboard. If that bitch cools off, you might as well have cardboard with cheese on top of it. I like them both, Wick. I mean, like, I like Papa John's pizza better, but everything else is better at Domino's. Like, I'm terrified of spending any money, for the most part, unless it's food. Food's the one I can kind of go back on, because food makes me happy. I'm sure Lummox has uploaded it somewhere.
Oh, get your peepers on that. Hello there, son.
Do I like Black Metal?
Fancy meeting you here.
Some of it. Black Metal you gotta be in the mood for.
It's not yours.
Running the love.
Stop it, my fluffy koala. The tiny baby rat crushing. Calm down, dear. I'm doing my best. Actually, I'm not. This is fun.
Oh, fucking hallowed be thy name.
That was graphic.
Oh, life is a waterfall where one for the everyone again after the fall. I can't do Surge. Like he has that very harmonious, like tenor voice. They think they know who I am. All they know is I love to kill. Face down, down on the ground. Find me before another is found. I go alive in the darkness. If you murder the nameless, they'll be rotten. You know, that's kind of the poster breaking straight.
Said this place actually has a combat AI. Pirate dickbags just sound nuts. Get it? Dickbags, nuts?
Word is, before the bosun went native, he was some kind of AI tech whiz. Not that you think it now he's gone all mum and dad mad. But what do you care?
I want my hepatitis C gone.
And when I march up to
I put all three in my
badass robots,
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% over...
I've been crawling on my belly, clearing out good berries, while I get my own confused, insecure delusions. Devil without a cause. Joey C. I'm the J-O-T. I'm the J-O-E to the C. Oh, call me Josie. Got more game than Calico. I'm a freak. Oh, call me sick. 3'9" with a 10-foot stick. I'm the lady's pick. Crazy hit. Then I'm like the fourth. I'm a happy drunk. I'm a big. I'm a muscle daddy drunk. I'm gonna pop it up. Would you blend? Man, you holler for a dollar. That's the way I felt. Gold links and drinks and shrimp dinners on that bayou. Them's all the things that I ain't gonna see. I'm messing up right now. I got not very long, honestly. I usually sleep like 4 hours at a time. Why do you guys obsess with the blimp song? Like, I almost feel like you're making fun of me wanting me to sing that and on Adam Brown Beaver. She hold it up in the air. There is a race car driver, 22 years old. Went to the bar one night, wrapped herself around the telephone pole.
We can bring down the force field, blocking the route to, well,
drove so goddamn
by
fast.
jettisoning the main
Every day playing the checker flag, but he never did come in last. Very race car driver, he say Ellison
I'll quietly talk you through things and update your info where appropriate, but the bosun's going to throw a lot of his men at you.
I'm over 62 IQ, I lose my money in a fucking crypto scam.
Control panel and set the ship's engines to maximum output.
Lost my money at the fucking McDonald's. My mom's got herself a big brown beaver and she shows it all her friends. One day, you know, that beaver tried to leave her, so she came with a cyclone fence. Along came Blue, an old bad bull, he recognized that smell. It smelled like 7 layers. Beaver at Taco Bell. I don't know, there's not much better than a cold can of yoo-hoo right when you wake up. It's just fire! Life is miserable if you make it miserable. Life is great if you make it great. You choose your fate. That's not necessarily true. There's outside variables to that. That's the whole, like, you choose to be happy. You can't will yourself to be happy. You can make choices. Like, but like, there's things that are outside of your control. Like me, for example. People won't let me escape my past. Right?
Nothing, dear. It's all
like
under control.
A shock jock on PK.
Great. Kid, can you find a way to the flow regulator if you know what that is? Of course I know. Give me a sec.
I've tried to atone for it, but people won't let you. Because you can't apologize to every person individually.
I mean, Nando, like, I came from the projects. I grew up dirt poor. My mother had me when I was young. She couldn't really take care of me, so I ended up going to my grandparents. I ended up getting attached to them, so I lived with my grandparents. My grandparents had never lived with me, so I made a lot of bad life choices that wasn't recommended. You know, my life was fucked up. Nobody should have done it. Like, it's the worst life ever. Way worse life than I had, worse childhood. But, you know,
good work, that's done it. Now all you need to do is expose the power stabilizer.
I got fat. I got picked on all the way through school. I ended up dropping out of school because I got picked on. It wasn't because I couldn't do the work. I just never went. I had a bad case of truancy. I'd always like not get on the bus or things of that nature because, like, to me, school was pain. That's what it was. I didn't know how to deal with it. I was a little Brady Retch. I never really escaped thinking home. It always seemed to come from something. Everything in life that was taught me. And who I am. They want to paint me out to be like some like wife beating, animal abusing, e-begging Batman, which I'm not going to say. Well, maybe an e-begger. I do my share of e-begging, but you know, I don't beat my wife, I don't abuse my animals. Definitely not a pedophile. That's probably going to be it for right now, boys. Looks like this stream will get deleted.
You know when you immediately walk into a 5-star hotel and you're just immediately hit with this like gorgeous, elegant, fancy smell and it doesn't go away, you continue smelling it and you're like, how do they do this? How is it so strong but so perfect? How do I get this in my home? Well, I found the secret. Here's what you need, this diffuser. Hotel collection, you just pop in your scent. My favorite is My Way. It's inspired by the one hotel in Miami and it smells exactly like my Lobo's hotel, that little apartment. It smells like that right now. Just diffuses. It has this awesome remote so you can change the strength of it and how long it runs for, and they have so many great scents to pick from. Y'all have to get
welcome back to Clownfish TV. It is me, Geeky, again, and today I have Leon. Yay!
Yay, I'm not dead.
Yeah, yay!
I know some people are making comments. Like Leon anyway. Is it single now? No. I'm here. Sorry you're having to deal with it. So, yeah, so I'm back, guys. I had some stuff we were doing this weekend with the kids, but we're back, so now we're going to dive into the news. Lots of news today.
That's right.
All right, guys, so before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Go to clownshishtv.com. Check out that website.
Yes.
And he was...
I'm just happy you're back.
I'm happy I'm back, too.
I get nervous, and then I'm even more like rambling than normal.
Well, you left me out of the basement.
That's right. Now you've learned.
I've learned. I'm missing a couple fingers of rats reading my fingers. Anyway, we're gonna... No, true story.
True story? Wait.
No, my grandfather, his father, who was a very grumpy pastor, used to send him down to his back door like the depression, right? Emphasis on that. He would send him down to the basement if he didn't eat his dinner with the rats. Lock the door, shut the lights off. But he was still a nice guy, surprisingly. Wasn't that damaged?
Pat?
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna talk about other happy news like layoffs here on Clownfish TV. Before we get into it any further, check this out. These are handmade Bubbly Steve's pouches.
Yes. My mom makes them. And we're going to sign them. So if you want them, there's only like 20 some available. 25.
Maybe sold a couple.
So, yeah. So we're going to put a link in the description. There's only 25 of them. There you go.
There you go. Okay, so let's talk about this. This happened a couple hours ago. The Warner Brothers is going to be laying off more people. Of course they are. We said before when they laid a bunch of people off, this was just the first volley. And they're saying on Comic Book Resources, they're assuming that it's going to be in DC Comics and Cartoon Network. Now, the article doesn't say that, I don't think, the original article, but of course it's Comic Book Resources, so they have to tie it into comic books, and they just canceled the Jonathan Kent, the Son of Kal-El comic, because it wasn't selling very good, even though the writer, Tom Taylor, tried saying it was like the best-selling comic ever.
Oh, yeah, no one believed that.
Nobody believed that. So I guarantee you, David Zaslav is looking at the situation. He's probably like, yeah, the comics don't make money, so we can definitely cut this. And there have been rumors they're going to outsource them.
Yeah, now you have to perform. Now that Zaslav is there, it's based on performance, and that's basically what the articles are saying too.
A meritocracy.
And this is supposed to most likely happen this week, possibly today. So we might be getting another video here in a bit where we're like, hey, guess what? Here's what happened.
Yeah, anyway, so this is coming from Comic Book Resources. They said a new report, which was, I think it was Deadline.
It was Deadline, yeah.
Deadline says another wave of layoffs is coming at Warner Brothers Discovery. Things are fine, guys. It's currently uncertain how substantial it will be. They said this time around, layoffs are expected to primarily hit Warner Brothers Television Group, which serves as the production arm of the CW and DC Comics. They did for $0, but apparently they're still making shows for the CW. Some they canceled a whole bunch of stuff. They said DC Comics and the distribution arm of Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and HBO. Moreover, there's speculation that the firings may begin sometime next week. Now, I've heard Tuesday. I heard today that they actually could let us
start. But anyway, we'll prepare for that video at some point from now until next week.
Right. An insider explained that layoffs in October were always expected. Everyone was given financial targets going into Q4.
You have to actually perform to keep your job.
Yeah, those targets include head counts, and October was always the expectation for the actual fall. In addition, it's currently thought that the fall season will see the end of the cuts. That has always been the goal, to conclude before the holiday season begins. Merry freaking Christmas.
It's a Christmas present. After this month, they're hoping the cuts stop, and then you don't have to worry about it. Happy holidays.
If you didn't get laid off, you're not going to get laid off before Christmas unless something major happens. It's uncertain how many this will impact. It's expected to be comparable to the layoffs in August, which
which had 70 employees and saw HBO and Max lose 14% of their staff, including high-level executives.
Really, Pornhub Premium? Do you want to join me? You should subscribe because I like that account name.
Reports suggest the downsizing can be attributed.
I don't know if you can join a game like this, though. I mean, you can try. Add me at the Mason story. I think we have to be friends first.
This ends here. I'm sending in my best man to finish you off. He's called Poop Deck because he kicks so much ass. Get it?
The Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav. David Zaslav. The Zaz who laughs. David Zaslav's efforts to find $3 billion in the couch cushions of DC Comics is. That's the thing. People keep saying, well, it doesn't mean much for these executives to pull the plug on this company or that company. I'm like, yeah, but you add it up. If you've got 10 underperforming companies, you know, you could wind up saving $1 billion a year just by cutting them.
That's true.
Completely, you know, and I hate to say it. On top of letting employees and executives go, Warner Brothers has also scrapped several major projects such as Batgirl, purged HBO Max.
A lot of his content.
A lot of his content. Reports suggest the purge will save Warner Brothers tens of millions of dollars by flushing some of its worst performing content. Yet they're moving ahead on Velma, and that's going to be another video today.
And they're keeping The Flash.
Yeah, so you know we've still got The Flash moving forward now. Supposedly, as of a couple days ago, they're still filming new scenes. I've heard it was pretty much locked down, but then this is just, you know, 7th. They were still filming new scenes for Flash. By they, I mean Warner Brothers, not Ezra Miller.
But it's
just
funny.
To be clear.
It's funny though. Like, I think of this on Pirates and Princesses, the tale of the two stories here with Ezra Miller, you know, getting to come back and finish the Flash after everything Miller has done.
Yeah.
But then Johnny Depp, based on accusations alone, gets fired from a bunch of stuff, canceled.
I have to wonder if that would have happened under Zaslav, because he even doubled down on defending J.K. Rowling. Mm-hmm. He said, basically, we need her because she makes money, Harry Potter makes money, and we want to make money. So it might be that if the Johnny Depp situation had happened on his watch, he would not have gotten canceled. Just a theory. Just a theory. But yeah, they've already gotten about $300 million together.
I added you back, by the way.
There's no way it's going to make that money back. You know, Michael Keaton, Batman or not, it's not going to make that money back. So we got that going on again. The all new, all different, all bisexual Superman has been canceled. They're going to give John Kent, I guess, a happy ending with a 6-issue.
They were kind of happy ending.
With a 6-issue miniseries.
6-issue, not 6-inch. Okay.
With this. It's not really happy. That's
more mediocre.
Mediocre, yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, it's probably offended people.
So they're.
It's not the size; it's what you do with it.
There you go. There you go. You can do a lot with little. Little goes a long way.
I don't know. I don't know what average
So the Adventures of Superman John Kent miniseries is coming after they cancel the Kal-El Son of Superman comic, which was initially sold a lot. It did sell a lot because people were like, "What? Superman's gay?" It's like, no, it's a Superman who's bisexual, and he's not really going to matter because eventually his dad's going to come back, and that's going to be that. But they're going to do a 6-issue miniseries so they can get number one, get them another number one, out of it.
But it's actually a number 2.
Yeah, it didn't. Hey, I'm sorry. They keep trying to defend these choices of changing all these characters. I don't know if you can de-gay Tim Drake at this point or whatever, but that Tim Drake number 1 comic was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. It was just an embarrassment. It doesn't matter. Character sexuality doesn't matter. It was just an embarrassingly cringy comic. And they had him going, "Yikes!" when his boyfriend tapped him on the shoulder. I'm like, he's a fucking Robin. He was treated by that.
Tapped him on the what?
Tapped him on the shoulder.
Oh, it's not like you said tapped him on the soldier, and I was like, they put that in there?
Tapped the soldier. Robin tapped the soldier.
Like you said, when he tapped him on the soldier, and I was like, wow, they're allowed to put that, but they can't put Batman and Catwoman doing certain things in there.
Yeah, right? Yeah, Catwoman can't go down on Batman.
No, it was the other way around.
But, was it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Batman can't go down on Catwoman because he's got it.
He said tap him on the soldier. Okay, anyway.
Tapping the soldier. Anyway, he's not. Anyway. I totally expect Zaslav at some point to just be like, DC Comics is an effing mess. We can't make movies out of any of this shit. Let's just outsource it all, and some of these characters are just going to disappear.
So back to the layoffs.
Back to the layoffs. Some of the people working at DC Comics and Cartoon Network are just going to disappear before Christmas, though, so that's good. You got time to find another job. And hey, look, I'm not cheering on the layoffs, but if the dead weight needs to be cut, then that's what happens.
Well, sadly, they kept adding and adding and adding and adding, and they weren't doing much to cut the dead weight prior. So now it's a lot of people coming. That's going to have to be cut.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. I think AT&T, even though they were cheap, they were still throwing money at HBO Max and DC and stuff, trying to get it to perform, and it just didn't. And now Warner Brothers Discovery, the stock is not good, and they got to do what they got to do. And I personally think Zaslav is going to trim it down, sell it off at some point. I think that's the long-term plan, but they have to get it profitable first, because nobody wants to buy it if it's not profitable.
So stay tuned, because the layoffs hit, we'll be covering it.
There we go. All right, gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more popular news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later. Extending on the cross-studio teams that were already in place for programming, casting, legal, etc. That seems an ominous sign for the future of new original Cartoon Network animation. WBA has traditionally been
this shit is retarded.
So they were the ones that did the Bugs Bunny and the Scooby-Doo and the classic stuff. Then we had Hanna-Barbera, which was the classic stuff reimagined, and some new stuff. And Cartoon Network was where you got your Steven Universe, and we're not going to get any more Steven Universe. Cartoon Network has one studio that puts out original series. Under boss David Zaslav, Warner Brothers Discovery has expressed a desire to focus more heavily on IP across all its businesses. So now the Cartoon Network has to share development and production with WBA. It's difficult to imagine a future in which the studio's original animation output can match what it has been in the past. Well, translation, he wants to produce
investigation. This measure is necessary.
Yeah, and I mean, look, this is unfortunate because you're not going to find the new Scooby-Doo. You're not going to find the new, even Teen Titans, which I know is based on a comic, but what's going to happen is they're going to go and they're just going to go back to the same well again and again and again. But
which is not necessarily a good thing. I want to make that clear.
That's not a good thing.
It's not, because, I mean, some of the shows that we have gotten, the list of, have been really good shows. So it is not a good thing.
Some of them have been colossal misfires, though, too.
Right.
But that's the thing. When you're searching for the next big thing, you know, you might find a little flake of gold, a little speck of gold in the poop.
Well, you usually say corn.
Corn's not valuable like gold is. Oh. Well, it might be if we have a food shortage or something. It might be the people fighting over corn. I don't know. Anyway, really bad analogy. But yeah, basically you're going to have to dig through a lot of shit to find the nugget of corn or of gold. And that's what they've been doing. And there are some legitimately good shows, but there's also a lot of shit that they put out in the last couple of years. They greenlit shows that are like, what the hell were you thinking? And it almost feels like... Yeah, King of Atlantis. It almost feels like they just went out to Tumblr and they just like, you know, pushed the surprise me or whatever. Just give me a blog, give me a blog with any Tumblr cartoon. Yeah, that one looks good. Here, have a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
That one looks pretty good too. Have a couple $1 million. You get $1 million. You get $1 million. Over the last decade, Cartoon Network Studios produced shows such as Grandpa. That's one of the ones I'm talking about. Like, what the hell, Grandpa? Steven Universe, Clarence, Over the Garden Wall, which is good. We Bear Bears. I guess it's like, it's just massive.
It is.
But it makes money. So that's why they're getting the spin-off, the preschool spin-off.
Right.
Craig of the Green, Summer Camp Island, Infinity Train, which I actually thought was good, but it didn't make money because you couldn't really merch it. But I personally thought it was a very good show. Primal, which was a very good show.
Yeah.
Just to name a few. Conversely, Warner Brothers Lab has been focused on catalog characters, Batwheels, Bugs Bunny.
These are all going for little kids.
Yeah, Aquaman, King of Atlantis, Teen Titans Go, the Animaniacs reboot, etc., Tom and Jerry, Harley Quinn, etc. The significance of yesterday's news may not have fully sunk in for a lot of animation fans, but those in the business immediately understood the magnitude of the news and the impact on Cartoon Network. By extension, Cartoon Network's future. Brian Miller, former general manager of Cartoon Network and key figurehead at the company for 21 years, tweeted a quote from Variety and a grim towards summary of what he thinks it means for the future. R.I.P. Cartoon Network's.
We've been telling you. You've been telling you.
I'm just going to leave this here.
AI core. What's its location?
We have had many times, and look, my understanding from Warner Brothers people coming to us years ago was that the plan was to merge all this shit before HBO Max even launched, and Crunchyroll was actually going to be part of that, and then they're like, well, we can sell Crunchyroll because Sony's stupid enough to spend that much on it, so, and now it's actually happening, now people are like, what? How is it possible? How is it possible that they don't want to burn more money on another, clearance? I don't understand.
What's sad is there's going to be some shows that have maybe possibly been produced that would have been really good shows. Like, I mean, unfortunately for every, Infinity Train, there's, a bunch of Clarence. But, some people like Clarence, and it's okay if we do. But they're going to lose out on some really good shows that could have been because of it.
Yeah, well, this sums it up nicely. When Warner Brothers Discovery has no fresh IP to reboot in 30 years and wonders why the Jetsons and the Flintstones aren't catching on with newly minted adults, who will they blame?
Wait. Why they aren't catching on with newly minted adults? But I thought they'd make these shows for children. I thought you can't have an opinion on them because they're not for you, they're for kids. But this person's flat out saying when their shows don't resonate with people like me, who's a newly minted adult, but I'm not having an opinion on these shows because they're for children and newly minted adults apparently.
it says so much. But no, it does beg the question, like, if they're just going to keep going back to the same well and reinventing, Flintstones, Jetsons, Scooby-Doo again and again and again, there's not going to be anything that's going to mean anything going forward. But I don't think there was a long-term plan. I'll tell you, I think Zaslav's plan is to trim the fat off of Warner Brothers, Discovery, and then some. He says, we're not for sale today. 5 years from now, they might decide, well, we'll just sell the Warner Brothers catalog to Netflix or Apple or something.
I can help you navigate it. First, you need to catch a
this is kind of the mentality of a lot of animation fans now. It's like, yeah, all these cartoons, they're for like 20-somethings. It's like, yes, exactly.
We've been saying this. When we say it, it's like, yeah, it's for children.
Cheer is for children. I'm like, yes. All these 9 and 10-year-old girls understand gender studies and all that shit.
We're trying to make sure they do. I like this. Even Disney's originals Disney occasionally tries new originals. Warner Discovery should take a page from the real emperor of IP. Disney hasn't been the emperor of IP for years. Most of their shit is just the same thing you're complaining about here, where they're just taking like things they already have and just regurgitating them into something else. They haven't been developing much for a long time.
No, I mean they're probably just like, oh, we got Owl House. So I'm like, yeah, Owl House got canceled, didn't it? It got canceled. And I think a lot of it just comes down to money. The stuff's expensive. They can't afford to take a chance on developing new shit because they're going to sink millions of dollars into it and it's going to be a flop. Whereas they know they can just, shove another Scooby-Doo movie out on Blu-ray and people are going to buy it.
But the sad thing is the things they keep banking on were things that were developed in a time when people just made new things.
Yeah.
And even when they reboot old IP, they usually screw it up. They never learn. Yes, it's very true.
That's why I hate David Zaslav now. He's become a total menace to Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network. This is it. Now it matters. This is what I'm seeing on Twitter too. Like nobody really batted an eye when he was cutting. Well, they were mad about that or whatever. But let's those people were doing this. Oh no! He's cutting comics. I care about most of the shows. That's the shit. The Cartoon Network.
What are all the 23-minute adults gonna do? It's for the children.
We're gonna have to go back to. Oh, we're gonna do a change.org like that works. They haven't. Let's see. Yeah, because they've been doing anything in the last decade worth watching. They haven't. It's true. Zaslav is a numbers guy, and Cartoon Network doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. I mean, look. Cartoon Network, at its peak, existed in another time. We've done videos before. You go back. We have 3,000 or 4,000 videos we've done in the last 4 or 5 years, guys. You can see that kids aren't watching Cartoon Network anymore. They're not watching Disney Channel or Disney XD anymore.
We even had the numbers, the breakdown of numbers of what they're watching. Those were not the things that they were going.
No, lots of they're watching is on streaming services or whatever, and they got to look at this can we really afford to spend $500,000 to $1 million plus an episode on a show that isn't merchandisable, that kids aren't actually watching? Now, back in the day, it was either you watched Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, or Disney Channel, and they had the ad money rolling in, they had the eyeballs, they could command, so it was worth it to put shows on there, even if they didn't have the merchandise angle down, because it's we're still going to get ad revenue. So we can throw something like Grandma, we can take a chance on that, because kids are they're gonna watch it in between other shows, and we got the ad revenue coming in, and and every once in a while they get a hit, they get an Adventure Time. It's debatable that Steven Universe. They tried to merchandise Steven Universe, and the toys were on clearance, I swear to God, within 2 months.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're double kids shows, because that's what it's about. But, I mean, look, everybody's out there, no, he's happy. It's no, I want to see creative shows come back. That's what we ultimately want. We don't want rebooted IP shit over and over again. But I do find it very entertaining. The people that are yelling about, it's for children, are the ones basically admitting that it was for them the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I said. This sums it up nicely. It's basically young adults are angry that it's not happening. We're living in the wrong timeline. All these shows, all these adults advertising shows didn't resonate with kids. We're like, hey, the Flintstones and the Jetsons aren't going to resonate with children. I'm like, I'm sorry. Regular show, I don't but I'm saying, for the most part, for most kids, unless it's freaking SpongeBob or Teen Titans Go, SpongeBob on Net, which pretty much keeping Nick on the air, but you can make merchandise of it. You know?
Well, that's why I like Gravity Falls so much. And I think Over the Garden Wall, a couple of those are so great because they did resonate with everyone. And I think that they need more shows like that. But they need to do new things. And I think banking on IP is boring, it's tired, and, you know, what are you going to do in 20 years when you don't have anything to reboot because you already, rebooted them 5 times? It's dumb.
So this is what gets me too. People really, like, I see all these people on Twitter, and they're teenagers or young adults or whatever, and they're like,
newly minted adults.
Newly minted adults, and they're like, animation should mean more. It should be held to a higher standard. It's art for art's sake. I'm like,
someone has to pay for it.
Somebody has to pay for it, and I'm sorry, that's the reality of it. If you look at the story of Disney, their first 5 movies were art, and they almost went bankrupt trying to bankroll these movies.
They did the ones they wanted to do, but they had to do ones that are bankable at the same time.
Yeah, and basically to get the stuff that you love. So, like, a show like Infinity Train, which is just something the creator wanted to do because he wanted to tell that story, gets remade because a lot of people watch Teen Titans Go, and they were allocating money to Cartoon Network for new shows, trying to find another Teen Titans Go. Now, common sense will tell you that something not quality, I think it's a good show, wasn't going to perform like a Teen Titans Go, or a SpongeBob, or whatever. But I don't think they realized that, like, well, we can't make any money even off of merchandise. We can't sell shit for this show, so pull it all down, pretend it doesn't exist, and we'll just outsource it someplace else. So he is strictly a numbers guy. I mean, that's it. And this is a rude awakening.
I hate to break to everyone, but Cartoon Network has been dead for over a decade now. It became the Teen Titans Go channel. I mean, Boomerang had more going on than CN at this point, and they're all
I mean, it's been gone for a long time now. The last gasp of popularity was probably Adventure Time, and we could argue Steven Universe. I don't know really what the numbers for Steven Universe were.
Cartoon Network Studios no longer has any independent say on either creative or operational matters. Good. CN has produced a steady stream of trash filled by nepotism hires for years. It hasn't been the CN that people loved in a long, long time. Rest in piss.
Rest in piss. Rest in piss.
Oh, sorry, that's funny.
So the last time Cartoon Network was Cartoon Network, or at least Hanna-Barbera was Hanna-Barbera, I think, was when
As we race through our lives, what if our best moments are all overlooked, brushed through, deprioritized, said to happen someday when we're older, maybe, lost in a pursuit of do better, more, faster.
Got thought there.
What if the real intention is to take a breath? To be not a dream.
The station hasn't been fully operational in a long time, but I can get it running again. There'll be a console around here somewhere. Get me to it and I'll do the rest.
Lived. What if everything we're chasing after is already here? In the small moments that matter most.
I've been thinking, now I'm free of him, the future's so iridescently bright. A new life betokens a new name. Felicity, it means happiness. From now on, I'm Felicity.
Sure, Felicity.
Fred Seibert was in charge, and that was a long time ago. That's when we got a lot of these new shows, and we got. No, they're right. I mean, Cartoon Network has been dying. It's just this is the last gasp. The plug is being pulled.
I think when they have shows that are universal, shows that are not agenda driven, and they resonate with a lot of people because they're funny and they can appeal to adults and children, like Gravity Falls or Infinity Train or those kind of shows, Owl House or whatever. I think they do well. It's when they even Owl House can argue. It's when they double triple down on these niche type things.
Yeah.
That I think it becomes a problem, and it's gotten to a place where it's more about who you are than what your story is.
And that has changed. Now, this person in the animation industry, Max, said they do have shows in development. We talked about this yesterday. They're going to use the brand. I mean, Cartoon Network, they do.
Falls or Infinity Train or those kind of shows. Owl House or whatever, I think they do well. It's when they double, well, even Owl House can work. It's when they double triple down on these, like, niche type things.
Yeah.
That I think it becomes a problem, and it's gotten to a place where it's more about who you are than what your story is.
And that has changed. Now, this person, the animation industry, said that they do have shows in development. We talked about this yesterday. They're going to use the brand. But I mean, Cartoon Network, as it was before, where it was basically they were constantly producing new shows or getting new stuff at the time, like Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Lab and Johnny Bravo and even Cow and Chicken, whatever. Those days are gone. But as other people pointed out, it's been over for a while. You know, they've got a freaking revolving door at the top. Basically, it's whoever can push the button and run more Teen Titans Go.
Well, now there's other places, like, I read all the original news on Variety and Deadline and not Cartoon Brew, because they're just trying to scare people.
Cartoon Brew is
where we're gonna build a.
they have their finger on the pulse of the animation industry more than Variety. I don't think they even Variety caught how bad this is going to be when they've got somebody who used to run the damn network saying R.I.P. Cartoon Network. This is it's going to be a brand. It'll be like a cartoon, kind of like Hanna-Barbera for the longest time became kind of a brand. Like you've got Jetsons and Flintstones shit, cartoon, or Hanna-Barbera logo on it.
It's another case of we love you when we agree with you, but we hate you when we don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, anyway, we can wrap this up.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. But there you go, guys. We'll see what happens. Things are definitely going to change. How severe those changes are going to be, it's up for debate.
I just want to real quick for this. I work here. You know what I mean? Like, you're sensationalizing and God extrapolate that CNS is basically dead is really shitty. Especially if there's still a job there. Do better. If you're not now, you're gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see where Wolf and Sheeps is in 6 months. You know.
So anyway,
we're gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
More nasties. These filthy wire trees are everywhere. I hate them. Plus it looks like local scabs have set up shop. Push through here and find me a console to plug into so I can find out what's ahead.
Of the 7.7 billion of us on Earth, no two bodies are alike, but they are all equal. No matter how we feel about them, or how much they're capable of on any given day, they all deserve a chance to keep going, dancing, keep celebrating, and reuniting. Because everybody is a everybody.
Did you have some kind of mechanism in a sense so that you could make sure that you were true to Toby? Well, we didn't want to put any of our own, certainly in terms of the thematic material, we didn't want to put any of our own baggage. I mean, we had no interest in putting our messages into this movie, but we thought that we should honour Tolkien by putting his messages into it. And we thought he cared about things. The countryside and the rise of evil, and he cared passionately about certain issues. And we thought what we should do to honour him is to make sure that he cared about.
For something so ugly,
that's what we tried to do.
Breed a lot. This is the entrance to the stingray facility. Could you get me access to that gate console? I meant capitality. I mean you. We've got a problem. The security system's being all feisty and feisty.
Force alarm conditions.
fine. But for a military-grade AI, that was sloppy.
I'll get this stubborn thing open. Hopefully.
How's it going down there? Having fun? Think things on track with the whole robot army plan?
We're a little behind schedule, but on top of the mission.
The young and the restless. This portion sponsored by Oil Olay. Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
5 minutes later.
This door's been a huge pain in my digital arts. There's a jump pad nearby I can activate. Let's use that to get in. It was probably put there by scabs who use pads like that to sneak in and out of Concordia.
Almost had it. Right there. Welcome to the Rings of Power finale. We made it! We made it! We survived! Oh my god!
There's nothing!
Having to sit through the finale of She-Hulk and now this. I thought She-Hulk was bad. This was worse. This is the worst finale of the biggest flop of all time. The most repurposed intellectual property and vandalized intellectual property of all time. This was absolute garbage. Hot, flaming garbage. So as you can tell, I didn't like it. But I don't want to bury the lead. Halbrand is Sauron. I know, it comes as such a surprise. But I did get one thing wrong. So I want to correct the error right there. We did get Rings of Power in the Rings of Power. We said that we wouldn't, but we did. They were in the last 3 minutes. They didn't really have any consequence, and the way they were created completely broke the lore. But we did get the Rings of Power. What we're not ever going to get is Anatar, the Lord of Gifts. Nope. Halbrand took his place. Period. End of story. He will not be showing up. I guess they could bring him back, but that would be incredibly stupid, and I'm talking about the Rings of Power writer, so never mind.
Last electric field, though I suppose it'll probably shut down all the other fields as well.
You heard that right. Halbrand is Sauron. Not Gandalf is Gandalf. But I don't think they're going to call him Gandalf. They're going to call him Odin. The fact that they're using the term starry wizard when they don't show up until later in the Third Age is another thing breaking the lore. But they did want to make Halbrand Sauron so they could ship him with Galadriel, and I've got to give my boy Ryan credit. He calls it. So it's Galadriel's rejection, because he really wanted to be with her. He wanted Galadriel to be his queen.
I'm covering you, Vault Hunter.
So, in a sense, Sauron's going to be an incel. So not only did Ghostbusters 2016 make him essentially the troll bad guy, I only heard that from Chris Morris. I never watched the movie, by the way. Not only did The Boys Season 2 make incels the bad guy, not only did the Batman make the Riddler an incel, She-Hulk made us bad guys, calling us incels. Essentially, Sauron is an incel. But it gets worse. It gets so much worse. That's pretty bad. But it's all the repurposed dialogue, events. They not even essentially. They remade The Lord of the Rings in the Second Age. Does this not sound familiar? Star Trek Into Darkness, The Force Awakens. What is the common element with those three things? Jar Jar Abrams. Jar Jar Abrams. And creative bankruptcy. Something bad Reboot has been able to bring to a whole new level. I guess descend to a whole new level, like below the gutter, below the sewer. This is the sewer of creativity. That's what this is. This is the very definition of an adaptation Tolkien would hate. It's garish. It has no depth. The antithesis of his story, his language, his writing. It's a bastardization. It's not. I can't even say it's a bastardization. It is a giant turd in a copy of Tolkien's skin. And hopefully this ends this crap. Can we end effing prequels? The only reason most, not all, prequels are made, especially with giant intellectual properties, is so a girl can do it first. That might make a few SJWs and activists clutch their pearls and ruffle their feathers. But I'm breaking it down very simple for them, not for you. You're smart, they're not. I might have to speak a little slower. They make prequels, fill them with intersectionalism, so girls can do it first. If this wasn't my 20th effing rodeo, I still would recognize it. And if you remove all the lore, this is still a shitty show. It's a bad show. Poorly written. The dialogue is atrocious. Atrocious. It's abysmal. It's an abomination. It's an affront to anything creative and imagination. Thank God it's over. And the good news is we're not going to see season 2 for a couple of years, maybe longer.
Am I glad to see you? Here I was doing some help-yourself exploring, working on a pet project I've been cooking up, when the scabs swept in, about to cut me up bad, when I persuaded them I'm a medic.
And a turd, or is it Anatard, the Lord of Gifts?
Jack, you know this guy?
I don't recognize him. Yo, what's your name?
Sorry, bruv. Gladstone Katoa, D Division.
You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. It's so freaking bad.
Right?
I work on experimental
tech. Blow a gasket.
The
I'm
division
gonna blow a
let me
gasket.
using the resources here.
My kids are
Why
asleep.
are you
It's
here?
a school night.
Well, Gladstone Katoa, I need to get back to Helios and retake the big-ass laser on it from a bunch of freaky-looking doll military types.
Kid woke me up
and
in
if
the
we
middle
don't,
of the
the
night when I
moon's
was
gonna go
raising them.
boom and take half of Pandora with it. You know.
Oh, I want to eat. I'm tired. I'm a baby. I can't feed myself. Kids are so needy. Okay.
Why are you here?
So let's, by the way, round of applause in the chat. You can't see her, but she's here. She's in the back. She's helping me out. X-Ray Girl's here. Staying up all night. Staying up all night. We appreciate her.
What? No, we're here to build robots.
So,
what prototype are you talking about?
I haven't heard from Az. I was going to send him a link, but you probably had a nervous breakdown
Project,
after
creating a
She-Hulk.
master bot capable of digistructing an almost unlimited
And
supply
who
of
would blame him? And by the way, there's so many things that mirror House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones in this, including this dagger. You know, isn't it coincidence we have two fantasy shows and they both have dagger MacGuffins, a dying king who accidentally talks to the wrong person. By the way, they didn't even pay off that scene.
What do you think old
I don't know if anybody see this. They didn't pay off the scene. I was like waiting for him.
That's not what I had
and like, did I miss it?
Ooh, constructor, I like it. Nice. So,
essentially, Girl Sildor is going to be the impetus behind getting a Lindil and eventually a Sildor to bind the faithful. Because she'll have seen the vision. You know, she was probably, because she never existed in the lore.
Alright, go Team Robot Army.
Oh, and I think they're going to be shipping Muriel and Elendil.
Sure, yeah, whatever makes you happy. Just make my loaders deadly. By the way,
No, they are. They shipped them on a ship. So we got shipping on a raft, and then we got shipping on a ship.
Across you, bro. You're trying to
Then the
save the
show's
moon,
full
and you
of
seem
shit.
like a stand-up guy.
That's a
Plus,
bad
you're
joke.
about to help me complete my life's
But I'm a
work.
dad, so I get to make. A Sildor. Well, you know, it's
behind some of the minds of Star Trek Discovery, so I'm not surprised. All right, so yeah, this is. I'm gonna skip the recap. I'm gonna try not to get hit. But we've got totally not Gandalf looking at his apple that they took 2 minutes for female Frodo to hand him, and he drops it, and it rolls around, and it's picked up.
They gave me an escort team, but the scavs chewed them up pretty quick.
At first we think it's Nori.
Anyway,
Nori Brandyfoot.
I knew they'd send a rescue party though.
Again, I don't want to risk getting but it's not.
Oh, bruv, you're the coolest company. Best 3 years of my life.
She shapeshifts into Chicka Chicka Slim Lady or Feminine.
Talks before they're hat. Robotics factory up ahead.
Right.
That's where I was working on my prototype.
That guy's got a nice rack. Just gonna say so. Az would certainly appreciate that. That's not Sauron. That is a Sauron simp. An Easterling from Rune. Now, isn't it interesting that they made at least 2 of the Easterlings white? And they talked about honoring the lore and having all of this diversity and it's our strength, and they didn't put the diversity where Tolkien intended it. I wonder why. Oh, intersection.
Apparently not.
By the way, I've got a video coming out tomorrow. Intended it. I wonder why. Oh, intersection. That's why. By the way, I've got a video coming out tomorrow. It's not the review. The review will be on Sunday like it always is. In the meantime, you can watch this. But I found an article that puts the re-intard on the Rings of Power. It is the single worst thing, and it's accompanied by something else that will be completely separate. But it is the worst of the worst of every article, even the Hollywood Reporter one. It's the worst one I've read since all of this madness started back in February, the week before I moved to California. Great free state of Texas. All right, back to
how's that going?
Chicka Chicka Slim Lady. Very slim up there, but that's okay. Yeah. Imagine waking up to that every morning. You'd want to flee into the void as well. All right, so they thinks Sauron.
You're all enemy.
And they bow to him.
I'm armed and ready.
She, they, them doesn't say anything. But we get a lot of leg. Now, European Lore put up a tweet this morning saying it looked like, is it Brazers? I don't know what the adult stuff is called. I don't know. I don't really partake, but, you know, I've heard of it. And, yeah, you get a lot of leg. A lot of leg in this. A lot of knobby knees. It's good to know that women shave their legs.
Finally here.
The Easterling women shave their legs.
First canal of my new robot army.
They got barbershops. They got really tight fades. By the way,
before the scabs came and forced me to be their medic. We'll need to clear the area of them before getting to work.
No dwarves. Like, honestly, the best thing about this show was the dwarves, and they're not here. Got to shout out Nerdrotic Daily, too. Harry made a clip of Friday Night Tights where Garrett was sick, so he was in the background just kind of handling all the sharing. And like, this whole thing of what looked like a Elrond Durin the fourth sex scene was pure accident. Like, he's back there, we're going through the show, and he just hits pause at like the worst time where Elrond has some crazy look on his face, and that's what started the whole thing. It was nuts. I've watched it a couple times and still crack up. It was so funny. So go watch it later. It's got a great yeah, we're all immature and we don't care. So they think he's Sauron, blah blah blah. Opening, really boring. boring. Let's get the intro. Rings of Power. By the way, this episode was written by Jennifer Hutchinson of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and Tate and Sneako. So, you kind of recognize this. This will be a repurposed scene, if I can not get in trouble. So, remember, Halbrand, who's totally Sauron, needed elvish medicine. So this scene is supposed to remind us all of it from Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. See, they're repurposing. They're not repurposing book stuff. This is how I know that they're lazy and they're trash. They're repurposing Lord of the Rings. I mean, if you want to repurpose stuff, it's still stupid. But repurpose it from the book.
I don't know about this place. Kind of looks like a junkyard. Are you sure we can build something badass up in here?
They're repurposing it from Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, which is still a masterpiece, the greatest trilogy of all time. That certainly made changes. It's not a word-for-word faithful adaptation. Nobody expects that. So yeah, you can see him. He's finally hunched over his horse back there. So yeah, it's supposed to remind us of that. There's a lot of that. The reason they do that is because they didn't want to take the time to properly adapt even the appendices. There's enough characters, there are enough stories where you could have filled something in with the Second Age. Unfortunately, it didn't have any of those familiar things that the Amazon marketers needed. Hobbits, wizards, has Kings of Men. It's got Numenor. You could have just done Numenor and elves.
Let me see if I can get the cover down.
It would have been some men. And it would have been fun. Didn't need Harfoots. Didn't need wizards. You want to know why he didn't need them? Because Tolkien didn't put them in there. And if he wanted to put them in there, he would have. So the writers playing their BS games of, well, Tolkien wasn't specific. It's bullshit. Alright, so we got Celebrimbor and Femron just going full black belt. They're like, we're dead. Didn't get enough mithril. The magic metal that's going to somehow reflect all the darkness that's just decided to come and suck all the lives of the elves. We don't know if Morgoth started this. We don't know if it's Sauron. We never find out what was the cause of their life force draining, something that was never from the lore. By the way, I gotta ask once again, scholars, professors, shills, how's that integrity holding up okay now? Had your nice trip over to England, you saw your 20 minutes. Sold your soul to Amazon, and now everybody who just went to your channel for lore or whatever knows you're just a shill. It's on you. It's on you. To anybody who went, but we're honest about the show, not even talking about it. Don't even worry about it. You know who is good is Men of the West. Men of the West, that's a good channel. It's a good, fun lore channel, and they gave it a shot, and they were honest, and that's all we ask for, honesty. So go subscribe to that channel if you want some good, fun, Tolkien lore. Men of the West.
You're meant to destroy them in order to get their arms.
So yeah, they're blackpilling. They said, yeah, we're done. We have to go alert the High King of our failure. And a statement. The writers are going to have to alert High King Bezos of Amazon that they completely failed with this show. That people are not only going to hate it, they're going to blissfully forget about it very soon. And as I told you, a very, 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 very good source, this show couldn't be just a hit. It had to be Stranger Things. This thing has to be charting on the Nielsen's 6 months from now, like Stranger Things does. and it won't be. It's already dropping. Now, it was number 2, but it's closing. House of the Dragon is closing in, but House of the Dragon is actually beating it, like soundly now. Beating it soundly. We got the data today on the 4th episode. I'll show you the picture later. You know who is number 10 on the list?
There it goes.
Very popular She-Hulk. Celebrimbor is portrayed like a buffoon, like a moron. This is garbage. This is the worst thing about it is, like, when we first heard about the second Age Lord of the Rings, we were still excited. We're like, oh my god, we're going to see Celeborn, Celeborn.
Brand new weapon for a brand new war.
Gilgalad's in it for like a couple of minutes, and he's an idiot and an animal. Celebrimbor is like a Ponzi moron. Like, it's terrible. Almost as bad as Elrond.
So close to finishing this when the scabs arrived. It'll pump out a lot of
we need
robots.
to do more with less, so we've only got a little meat thrill. We need to figure out a way to make some rings. Rings.
Wrapped in sadness.
Rings.
Hey, no offense. This constructor will be able to digistruct highly complex machines at an unsurpassed rate.
And he talks about how the sun started out as something,
the crane system.
you know, the size of the palm of our hand. And how can it possibly match the powers wrought from the sun? They figure out a way. They ask Sauron, who's supposed to be yes, but it's actually Helmet. So there it is, right there. We must inform the High King of our failures.
This is really happening. It's working. My
I
old
don't think
professor
there's
said
a
I'd
statement
never amount to
more
anything, but
accurate
she was
about this
wrong.
show
And now
from this show. Except, I mean, Bezos is a High King.
I've been wondering about this installation. You know, you could just copy.
Don't know how that works out.
It takes a little longer, but it's the same thing, and I'd find it much less
Guy
terrifying.
Ladriel shows up with Halbrand to get him the elven medicine. I mean, he's gutted. Remember, he was on the brink of death. Totally fine.
Brain surgery and
Like he's walking around, doing push-ups, pull-ups.
Let me think about it.
Running a 5K. Like, he's good. Don't worry about it.
Hand me that loot.
So there's this elven medicine, elvish medicine. A lot of standing around and looking. Honestly, the last 10 minutes are just... you'll get there. Like, the show is a series of events you know are going to happen, and you're just waiting for them to happen, and they try to string it along. Oh, another thing I found out. It's about She-Hulk. Should have mentioned it.
Turrets just need to be calibrated.
I can help prepare the
Probably knew
targeting
this already.
systems.
I don't know.
Oh, that's okay.
You know why
thanks.
the credits are so long on the Marvel shows? When the shows are like 23 minutes, it's to pad the minutes long. Forget about it. When the show ends, they go get a drink or they go take a leak and they leave the show on. Pad the
Don't
minutes.
kill the scabs. The turrets need to finish them off, or they
Welcome
won't calibrate.
So Halbrand's gonna be okay. So is Sauron, who's the same person. I should have trusted you. It was a mistake that I wanted to get. Yeah, they're really surprised. They're like, Galadriel, why are you totally here?
At 50% accuracy.
She said because she didn't feel worthy, so she jumped out of a boat and she just swam and
I'm covering you,
swam
Vault
and
Hunter.
hoped for the best. Swimmed, Jesus.
Yes, I'm very good.
I knew somehow my task was not complete. I pray I had chosen the way.
Someone else. Let it go, darling.
Oh God. No. She also mentions that I did not swim across the ocean to fail again. It's like, you didn't swim across the ocean. You randomly came across a raft which randomly came across a ship. You didn't swim across any ocean. Elves tire. They can go a lot longer than men, but they tire. They die of things like frostbite.
Have to wash my hands after this.
I'm making my way across fast as I can. I'm gonna try to give you the meat. Give it to you. Celebrimbor talks about himself in third person. Sauron goes into what is this place? Celebrimbor is not here. This is the workshop of Celebrimbor. It doesn't say that this is my workshop. I don't know why. Sauron immediately, like the mask is off immediately. They didn't even play it inside. He starts kissing his butt. He's like, "Oh, great Celebrimbor. My master talked to Master Morgoth. Spoke of Celebrimbor. He used to speak the wonders of your craft." Sure he did.
Did that hurt?
But he kisses his butt a little more. Then he just looks at the jewels and he's like, there it is. Feanor's jewelcraft managed to capture the essence of value. Like, oh, they mentioned something Tolkien and then they completely destroy the lore.
Alistair would study the body and I'm not done yet.
And they talk about Mithril a little bit. And says he's having a little trouble with him, so Sunderer King suggests that maybe you should try to mix it basically with another metal.
This can't be good.
Tells Celebrimbor how to smith and craft. And at this point, I'm like, I always thought, I only knew certain things about the show. I didn't know how they were going to play out. So watching them play out is so much worse, because that's when it's hit me. I'm like, oh, Centaur's not going to be in this at all. Why? Like, who makes that creative decision? That's another thing. You know, Tolkien fans back in 2017, when they're told that they're going to get a story of a second age, that's what they wanted to see. Now, I would argue, and I argued back then, we don't want to see this. Sauron is not a villain we want to see. He's best left to our imagination. Our imagination can do so much more than these hacks. Be careful what you wish for. Less is more. That's why I made the joke. We're going to see a Jaws prequel someday, and we're going to see Jaws' parents, like, get it on and conceive Jaws. Like, do we need that? The best thing about Jaws is we didn't see the shark that much. It was an accident of filming, but it worked and it made it
version of the doll power suit. So you'll need to separate them and get them into the
They wanted to show the shark more. Good thing they didn't, or the movie wouldn't have been as good. Because it was just the thought of the shark being out there. It's just the thought of Sauron being out there. That's enough.
Wouldn't that be easier?
That's enough. Subtlety.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Something they don't understand.
It'll be a nice warm-up for you.
We're in Numenor. King's dying. Pharazôn gives a little speech saying he's going to die. We're going to break out the black sails. We need to capture his likeness. And we finally get a hint of what this guy's about. Don't hear anything till afterwards. He talks about the king dying, and he's burying him in a tomb, and that's something that no man or king can escape. And he looks at the camera and goes, I can tell a novella. No man can escape immortality. Says right. Pharazôn. And that's it. And then he tasks all these, I think there's a dude, but these girls and Girl Sildur to capture his likeness for his tomb. So they each get an hour, and she gets to sit down and draw a picture of the king.
Wise decision.
Who is dying. And I shit you not, if you watch House of the Dragon last Sunday, Paddy Constantine killed it. Had grown men weeping. His performance was so good. Compare it to this shit. A show that got schooled by children fighting. fighting amongst children in a cave an episode ago was more consequential to the story. It helped build more character, and it was actually choreographed better than anything in this show. Children fighting.
Nice weaponry.
So Patty, towards the end of the show, he's dying. So he talks about the Song of Ice and Fire, but he thinks he's talking to Rhaenyra, but he's talking to Alicent. Same thing happens here. Palantir thinks he's talking to Muriel, but he's talking to Girl Sildor. And he says, it's not too late. We have to change our ways and go back to the old ways, or Numenor will fall. And then he gives her like a key to the upstairs to the Palantir, and then they just kind of end it. Now I'm gonna go. I'm not sure if I missed it. Felt like I didn't miss it.
Arms, legs.
She asked for help.
Is this what it's like to be human?
He said, no.
This is the worst.
All right, let's see what
that's
you
it. She goes up, she grabs the Palantir, and we see nothing. We don't know what happened.
You just died.
I didn't enjoy doing that.
Oh well, it's okay. She's a boring character. I'm glad it was over. Hey, got some gilly. Got some gilly. Being a dick to Elrond. Going. It's all over. They're saying that they have to make the mithril round, like a crown, so it constantly.
I did, didn't I?
I forgot the term.
Everything's lost like tears in a puddle.
Bullshittery? I'm not sure. By a crown. The circular form is ideal. Allowing the light's arc back upon itself in one unbroken round crown or rings. He says no, it's too late. Back to Linda.
Over here.
He said this would have been nice, but I needed it a little sooner. Not bad. And then Celebrimbor says, well, this is important. It's a power not only of the flesh, over the flesh. So he says the exact same thing that Adar said, that Sauron said. And Galadriel goes, and we go right back into CSI Linden. She starts investigating Halbrand just like that. Didn't bother vetting him before. And once you find out the end of this vetting, the great commander of the Northern Armies looks like a bigger idiot than she already acts like. So he says no. We ain't doing this. We're gonna go back to Blessed Lands. Packing up shop. Middle Earth is on his own. Peace out.
We'll be able to install the AI core Felicity there.
And he also said it has a power over the unseen world.
Maybe this is all a mistake.
I don't like killing either, babe.
How y'all doing? Everybody okay? Okay, I'm trying to get through this stuff. It's boring shit. It really is. It is boring! What's up, George? I can't yell your name right now. Okay. George!
We need to rotate the rails around. Head into that office
what's
and
up?
use the controls to get things moving again.
George, Giant Slayer, go check out his channel. Oh, you're gonna have fun with this one, Holly.
So I can kill you.
Number one, Pain McKay's epic disgrace to J.R.R. Tolkien is so thorough that legions of fans, the global fellowship of normies, have rejected their ill-made goods. Amazon rings of recycled fantasy. Simon Tolkien's revenge porn failure is now complete. Yeah, Simon's a bitter little, isn't he? I'm trying to keep it down for the first half hour. I got demonetized on the last one. George, bless you. George for $49.99 more. George! You gotta get the second one. Wait. There's one. There's two. Okay. It would have been cheaper if Jeff Bezos would have gone with hair plugs for his midlife crisis instead of butchering Tolkien. It would have been cheaper and less embarrassing. It really would have. I mean, Elon's got some great ones, to be honest with you.
Looks like the
Like,
prototype is on its way.
Kind of made me a
Testing
believer
chamber.
in those things,
Head on
but
over so we can install
maybe
our
if I'm
AI.
a trillionaire. No, I won't care. I'm going to shave my freaking head. Don't even care. That's R2. $49.99 more. George! Hail George! They were all of them deceived by their own hubris. These towns lost a major battle in the war for the culture by their version of the legendary All Hail Veronica. All Hail George the Giant Slayer. And he is right. I'm going to spoil the ending with tomorrow's video. Amazon has lost. They lost. They took a massive L. And you know who else took a massive L? The shills and the activists and the SJWs took a massive L in the culture war. And they gonna be mad because they got their asses beat on this one. Tolkien fandom wiped the floor with them.
Sorry,
You did. So give yourself a round of applause. Sorry, the show sucked. But we knew it was going to suck. You were right about damn
stuff. Anything that can help us in a
damn
fight.
near everything.
The rest. Listen,
You were
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm sorry.
And like guys like George, or Truly, and even Jeremy, who could barely read. Not Jeremy from the Corey, Jeremy. I've been schooling scholars and educators. I've been schooling
That's what you get.
Well, largely they're retarded. But aside from that, they're very good at regurgitating their own bile, sniffing their own farts, but they're not very good at real-world application, especially fandom. Something Amazon, Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers, name them all, were not ready for at all. No matter how long they've been around Hollywood, they weren't ready for fandom. The fickleness of fandom, the passion of fandom. All they saw is, wow, when things get popular, it's really awesome to have fans. Look at Game of Thrones. But Game of Thrones got it. They realized that, we need to earn them back now. And they're doing that. Have they earned them all back? No. Will they ever earn them all back? No. The answer is no. But they'll earn enough to be okay as long as they respect the fans. What did DC just do? The dumbest company in the world. What did they just do? They brought back Superman, something Marvel will never have. What brought them to do this?
That's what I'm talking about.
The same reason Marvel is failing right now. Get woke. Go broke. And WB is going epic broke. And they need a sure thing. Superman, 3 versions of Batman. Okay. Get rid of all the intersectionalism. Sign me up. I'll be there.
All right, I think we're good to go. Come back to Moxie's. We'll get you geared up and ready for the big fight.
Alright, well, Sauron and Guy Ladriel meet again, and he says, I owe you, lady. You saved my life. You brought me around. And he means it. Like, he really likes Guy Ladriel, so it would have been honestly better if he was just deceiving her the whole time and full of crap. But no, he means it. He wants this girl. Which should have never been. He should be Anaktar. She should be with Celeborn. It depends on the time. Could be here right now. But they removed Celeborn so they could not rob her of her agency, make her a better warrior than Celeborn, something she never was. Never was a battle commander, never fought in the wars of the First Age or the Second. And these a-holes who keep bringing up the fact that she was athletic and she put her hair up. Well, somehow you extrapolate that into commander, battle commander.
Help!
They repurposed Baron and Luthien to Guy Ladriel and Kella where to be seen born. Disgrace to the lore.
That's quality.
It's all been a disgrace. So they're shipping.
To mama.
I gotta get caught up in my notes. Give me just a mo. Girl Sildur. We need a crown. Got that. Okay. I was dumbfounded by so much stuff. I actually stopped writing notes. I was like, what? This could not be happening. All right. So here's your big battle sequence. We have the all-female order from Ruin of Sauron Sims, which is totally different than the 2 all-female orders of warrior nuns. By the way, warrior nuns, gotta put that were in Star Trek Picard Season 1. Again! What do we have in common?
Don't you have enough on your plate already?
Jar Jar Abrams!
Don't wander too far. Something always comes up.
It's like there's a little intersectional notebook going around Hollywood going, if we're gonna have a white male character and a Sith, we need to surround them with a minimum of 3 warrior women. Maybe 2 if one of them is really powerful. And once you recognize the pattern, you will see it everywhere. Black Panther, it happened. It did. See it everywhere. It's intersectional as well. It is Bechdel test, intersectionalism. It is all this woke Hollywood garbage from their bubble. I didn't make up this term, but I'm going to be using it often. Reflecting the world of Los Angeles today. I'm not all of Los Angeles, by the way. We're talking about West LA, Burbank. Not West LA, sorry. West Hollywood, not West LA. West Hollywood and Burbank.
Alrighty. 1 second.
That stinking traitor, the mayor, might be dead, but I hate
leaving a job unfinished. Sure, I can't kill him again, much as I'd love to, believe me, but I can make sure no one remembers he ever existed. Your old
huckster kept kind of a diary about his exploits, hid 3 juicy echoes in his office. I want him gone. Find them. Destroy them. Let's wipe his grubby slate clean.
This feels pretty far from professional.
When I need you, I'll call.
Maybe a little Glendale. Part of Pasadena.
Please run. It will be hilarious.
Woke white women complaining about shit. Oh boy. So I mentioned all that part. And we got Guy Ladriel investigating Halbrand. And as we are here at this battle, they think, okay, by the way, the Chicka Slim Lady and Feminem think that the stranger, totally not Gandalf, is Sauron. So bow to him, and they said they're going to bring him back to the east, where they will teach him.
Those are pretty big.
Because he's got a veil on him right now. They will reteach him magic, essentially. The women. So he does his powers because he can't talk yet. So they say, we have to bind him.
One last time.
So they bind him. In the meantime, the Harfoots are coming to the rescue.
It's great to
We got the Harfoot of color, Lenny Henry, and 3 ladies. Guess who dies? I give you one guess.
It's worth it. Concordia needs someone
One
like
male
me to
Harfoot
steer it through some
to
choppy
3
waters.
female Harfoots.
Fair,
Again,
just the right
pattern.
amount of open-mindedness.
Guess who
And if a
dies?
bit of extra money happens to fall into my pocket as I do my job, well, I'll just call
So,
that
chicka Slim Lady and Feminem.
Feels great for
Now,
Hyperion.
and they realize something's going
Just a
on.
small cog in a huge machine.
The Harfoots try to come and rescue. Totally not Gandalf. I think the smell gave him away, to be honest with you.
The future's rosy for Huckster T. Meredith, a.k.a. Concordia's new Merith.
One of the all-female order of warrior nun Sauron simps from the east throws a knife and hits Lenny Henry right in the gut.
Man, I did the universe a favor wiping out.
In the meantime, not Gandalf is... At first, he looks tied up, and it turns out that, once again, it's Feminem, and she shapeshifts into herself from not Gandalf. He gets knocked around a few times and knocked out, while the warrior nuns rain hell on the Harfoots, and I'm rooting like hell for the warrior nuns, to be honest with you. I'm going to go, get him! Get him! Maybe a little fire will burn that stink off. But not Gandalf saves the day.
The old moving bookcase, huh?
Oh, but it gets so much worse. He pounds the ground again, and she, Feminem loses her staff. You knew that was going to end up in the hands of Gandalf at some point, don't you?
I'm richer than my wildest dreams.
Don't you?
Alive.
So he's knocked out again, and this gives them enough time to go after the Harfoots and show off their powers a little more, blow a little fire, set the forest on fire, and then Nori can come and beg for help. And this goes on forever. It's like, we know he's going to get up and help her. And I understand we have to have a little dramatic effect, like, oh, please help us, but man, this thing goes on and on. And it's algorithmic. It's, let's draw this out as long as we can for minutes watched. Because this is no longer art, this is no longer entertainment. It is a platform for influence and content. Now, they are really trying to sell both of it to you here with this crap.
Then it's kind of totally fine. But it wasn't even funny.
But honestly, if we accomplish nothing else, and I mean we, as a very large group, my fellow YouTubers, my fellow just fans who are out there tweeting every day, getting the word around in Facebooks, if Jar Jar Abrams and Bad Reboot never get work on, like, go make your own, I'm not saying, go make your own or something, fucking bankrupt. Go make original stuff. Just go. Stay away from my piece. Forever. Forever.
Nothing as it seems.
So she's begging and begging and begging. Will you please get up? We're about to die. And thankfully, the chicken Slim Lady and Feminem are very gracious. They decide to stop using their powers and walk very slowly to the Harfoots that they could have killed 5 minutes ago.
I'm curious to hear what he had to say.
It's really dumb. And she's like, I know you're good. You're good. Fight for good. He's all, I'm not good. They said I'm not good.
Not that I
He can all of a
care
sudden
about
talk
the
now
board.
because they knocked sense into him.
Just the clueless
And
workers I'm probably helping to kill. I'm done. I'm out.
He's got a gut wound, but he's not dead yet.
Whatever it is I call a soul being destroyed.
We get the fire, and then we get him holding the staff.
And if I didn't do what she said, who knows what she had done to Concordia?
We get the totally not Gandalf shot, and for all of the people, I mean, like, I would have hated the wizards being in Second Age, no matter what. There's a bias there, but if it was going to be anything, the blue wizard, one of the blue wizards, one of the wizards we know nothing about. No,
I'm running away.
This is 1,000, like we all suspected. Okay, this is not a surprise. Once I heard there was going to be a wizard in The Rings of Power, which I heard a long time ago, I figured it would be Gandalf. They're just not going to use it. That would be my guess. I don't know why Warner Brothers isn't suing the bejesus out of them right now. They could use the money. But I'm guessing suing, like, yeah, by the way. We get the fire, and then we get him holding the staff. get the totally not Gandalf shot. And for all of the people, I mean, like, I would have hated the wizards being in Second Age, no matter what. There's a bias there. But if it was going to be anything, the blue wizard, what are the blue wizards? What are the wizards we know nothing about? Nope. This is 1,000, like we all suspected. Okay, this is not a surprise. Once I heard there was going to be a wizard in the Rings of Power, which I heard a long time ago, I figured it would be Gandalf. They're just not going to use his name. That would be my guess. I don't know why Warner Brothers isn't suing the bejesus out of them right now. They could use the money. But I'm guessing they got paid off. So it's Gandalf. We'll get to that confirmation later. But we get one of the worst instances of repurposing in this. In jest, we have brought up female Nazgul.
Good. While they work on that, I want to do something else.
Technically,
you know that terrible, ugly-ass statue of our Marif?
But it is.
Head. I'm cooking something up, and I think you're gonna like it.
He says, I am good. Says, I am good. Where is it, right? Where is it? Where does it come? I don't want to get in trouble.
Man, let's be heroes.
Oh, wait. I went too far now. Blah, blah, blah.
Good.
Being transformative. Are we still up?
You know that rocket in town? Well, we're gonna have ourselves a little launch party.
I don't really get where this is going.
We're transformative.
Yeah, if this comes out anywhere close to how it is in my head, everyone in this town's been talking about it for like pretty much ever.
See how long? Okay, well, fuck it. He just says, I am good. And he says, from shadow you came, you will go back. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, there it is. I'm good. When they go, so the three warrior nun, Sauron Sims go, he is stopped. So, confirming he's a wizard. A star.
His smug face will smash into whatever crap I fired at.
And he's not Sauron.
Put in some coordinates for this ship to
then
fly.
He must be, and then he goes, I'm good.
Pandora.
So we don't find out his name, by the way.
Other than this one, of course.
Okay, I gotta go back a little bit. Gotta find that one shot. Oh boy, I went
Okie dokie, looks like we're ready, people. Should really have a bottle of bubbly to smash against the side, but whatever. We'll launch it. Also,
if not, I got a picture of it.
Going, hey, DJ assholes,
there
let's
it is.
Hear that remix.
So I'm gonna share the picture. That'll be safer. Here's a picture of the female. It's on Twitter. It's easier. I was raging on Twitter a little bit. I'm not sorry at all.
That was great.
There it is.
And I'll be honest, you know what? Obliterating people is fun. Let's do it again sometime.
Be right back to that in a second. By the way, first, hail. There you have it. Fracking female Nazgul. My God! Again, if you're just joining us, what the Rings of Power essentially was The Force Awakens. They remade The Lord of the Rings in the Second Age. And they did it just as superficially, no, worse. Actually worse. The Force Awakens, superficial.
We're on the other side of Helios.
This is
Looks like
super superficial
us all up. Doesn't change the
for lack
plan,
of a
though.
better
Get to
term.
the Eye of Helios Command Center.
That's what he does, and then they turn into
save
moths
the moon
and float away. I'm sure they'll be back. Notice she has a crown, just like the Witch King of Angmar. It's speechless how creatively bankrupt this is.
Well done.
They have no shame. They have been lying to us from the get-go. From the get-go. And this is Hollywood. Oh, these people are sleeping great at night. Don't worry.
I fired you. And
we might get under their skin, but they got another chance. Now, I think they're worried about,
what have you done to the
Papa
station?
Bezos. Because they rushed into production. And they're obviously revamping.
Anyway, you can't fire this sucker. You already did. Later.
But the question is, like, they had a supposed good writer with Jennifer Hudson, which shows you you're only as good as your showrunner with these shows. Vince Gilligan, master, absolute master, one of the very few. And Ryan Condell, got to give it up to Ryan Condell, man. Wow, did a good job with House of the Dragon. These guys are bad, and that's why it's beautiful. Whether you like House of Dragon or not, I do. You can't deny that it's a quality production compared to this, and the fact that it's coming out, it came out before it, and will be out longer than the Rings of Power, is glorious. Everything about this is glorious. It was such a pleasant surprise if it hangs on for the next 2 episodes. By the way, join us this Sunday. Ryan Kinnell, Jane Theory, Stringy, Mahler, Shad. So he does the wizard staff thing. So, and this is straight up again, like, oh, we've got this pitch for the Second Age. Are there hobbits? Are there wizards? No. Can there be? Does my job depend on it? Yes. Yes, there can be. Absolutely. I think we can find.
I think that's a good place to leave it for now. Thanks for joining me if you did, and we'll be back later with some more.